Welcome to Grow Overload. I'm Anthony, and some exciting stuff is happening on the memory side of the GPU front. And this is important because, we would all like, especially if you're a gamer or even in AI or anything else, like to see the advancement of our graphics to catch up and continue to push the envelope forward in the graphics department because we want more immersive games, we want more detailed games, and we want faster frame rates, right? And more responsive frame rates. And in part of that whole development is memory. And here Samsung is announcing that they have an industry first GDDR7 DRAM to unlock the next generation graphics performance. So this is from Samsung there. Now, of course, Samsung is going to say it's 32 gigabits per second of GDDR7 for expanding capabilities and applications for AI, HPC, and automotive vehicles. And so you got AI, high performance compute, and automotive vehicles. I actually think as well as that this is still a big deal for the gaming industry, right? We will need more. We will need more faster RAM. We need more bandwidth all the time, right? This is the way they go. We want to. They've already started to go, direct to storage, right? Microsoft DirectX storage. So you just load everything into the GPU, trying to get and streamline in those assets whenever possible, and you get the performance boost there. But of course, they had to say AI. Samsung wasn't going to leave that off the table, was it? But you have oh man, GDDR7. Sorry about that. And what they've been doing here is that there's been a few changes overall in this. Now, I don't follow the spec as closely as I'd like. I don't have the time to follow all the specs as closely as I'd like. But what this is basically breaking down to here is GDDR7 impressive bandwidth of 1.5 terabytes per second, and then that's 1.4 times that of GDDR6 is 1.1 terabytes per second, boosted speed per pin of 32 gigabits per second. Now, these enchantments are made because of the pulse amplitude modulation signal method adopted in the new memory standard versus what it was, which is NRZ, or non-zero return. So there is a benefit there, as you would expect with each generation, that these get more efficient, more performance. Otherwise, why increase the spec, right? And GDDR6 here is 20. This is significant in performance in comparison to GDDR6, which is 20% more energy efficient with power saving design technology. Now, all this means is that if, let's say, it's 20% more energy efficient, that power from the previous RAM is probably going to go over to the GPU as they try to, make a more powerful GPU, which, kind of makes sense, right? As much as we all like to see power be cut, well, the power per performance may be much better. I think our overall power level is going to stay pretty close to where it's at, if not gain a little bit, especially in the gaming side of things, because we want our fidelity, we want our frame rates, we want whatever we're trying to game with, and we want our faster GPUs. So these improvements have a benefit, and it's impressive. So unlocking this is a nice little boost, I think, that's going to happen inside of graphics, inside of just anything that kind of uses this. I like to, even think of consoles, right? Consoles use GDDR6 right now, and this is the next step, another step up there that you're going to see probably in your next console, because I think there's not going to be any consoles within the next year. I don't think any major updates from what I've heard so far, but you're going to need another performance bump there. So I'm excited. I am really excited to see what happens and how this actually helps with, getting these GPU manufacturers to, improve their graphics cards even more, right? You're always in a balance of trying to get the best performance or the most out of the memory bandwidth that you can, and where that is, then you have to balance your caches and then your architecture so that it can all be fed, and the GPU can be fed well enough to be able to process all the data that it needs to process. And a faster memory to feed that architecture is always a benefit because it allows more architecture improvements to be able to be had to have faster GPUs. And we are in this game where we want faster stuff. We want better games, even though there's a lot of cards out there today, probably everything that can play a lot of what you want to play at, but we are, trying to drive performance. And I actually hope that a lot more games try to push this to a level that tries to make these cards so that cards have to catch up at some point. I always like when software kind of leapfrogs hardware for a little bit, and then the hardware has to kind of catch up. That's always fun. That always kind of really makes a nice little hardware jump out of things. But this is just one of the things I wanted to really talk about and get into, and I want to know what your thoughts are on this. This is going to be a quick little Friday video for you guys, just for the weekends here. And I think that if you're looking at it and you're looking at what it might happen, I think that this is going to be a big improvement. Now, my question is I think AMD might have a GPU coming out late next year. NVIDIA, I think they said like 2025 is the rumors. Now, these are all rumors, take it with a grain of salt, but rumors. Is this going to be on those cards? If not, is one company going to have this and one company not? And that would be very interesting to see, because I think that, let's say NVIDIA were to come out with it, I think they would be doing it specifically to make sure that they crushed AMD in that. And if, let's say, AMD didn't have GDDR7, I'm going to leave Intel out of this argument for right now. But I'm interested to see if it's a split, if one of them has it, either AMD or NVIDIA, and the other one doesn't, or if they're both going to have it and we're going to be jumping into this next generation of cards this way. So let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you're excited or interested to see how this is going to improve the performance going forward. Especially with some of these buses that we've had, this would actually help improve those bus speeds across when you have a 192-bit bus instead of like a 256 like you should have had. I could have went on, like the 4060 Ti or something like that today. I didn't, I've kind of been ignoring that one, the 16 gigabyte. Let me know if you guys want me to do something on that, but I don't know if it's even worth it. I think this is more interesting than that card, obviously. So let me know what your thoughts are. I think that this is going to be another step. It's another little increment here to continue to move forward and get the next generation that's going to use this to be able to be more performant and to be able to get that architecture up and scale that up even more to have more performance out of it. So I really do appreciate everything you guys do for this channel, liking, sharing, subscribing, hitting the bell icon, doing all that stuff for this channel here at Gray Overload. We all appreciate it, and I do want to say thank you for watching, listening, and sharing whatever else you've done. And until next time, God bless.